Our round 22 match of the day was between Medibank co-tenants Subiaco and East Perth. Subiaco are coming into the match after a confidence-boosting win on the final siren against West Perth last Saturday. East Perth had the added incentive of needing to steady their ship, find some form, particularly in view of the weeks ahead against East Fremantle and West Perth, and more importantly, ahead of the finals campaign that they are sure now to follow that track. The first quarter was most important for both teams. They needed to make every post to win at East Perth, and early in the piece they did. Nick Comer was giving them a lot of drive from the middle of the ground, and up forward they had opportunists. Certainly Adam Pryor was one of them, and also Matt Seal provided them with a lot of drive around goal. They made the most of their opportunities early, kicking early goals, and you can see Seal there in the right place at the right time, and that's something that we're accustomed to seeing with Matt Seal. He finished with 3 goals for the day, but later in the afternoon he became a little bit inaccurate, as did a lot of the East Perth players. Craig Wolfe celebrating his 200th game for the club, combining there with Gary Moss to drive the Royals forward, and again Seal in the right place at the right time. He kicked 2 of his goals in the first quarter that really ignited East Perth, but they were inaccurate even from early in the piece. At quarter time they were 5 goals 7 to Subiaco's 5-1, so it was certainly game on, but the Royals led by 6 points, and a good running goal there by Subiaco certainly kept them in touch, and it looked as though we had the game that we expected ahead of us all day. But in the end, it was the weight of numbers by East Perth. Their tall forwards were outstanding, and also Michael Swan, who was a goal scorer under pressure, is second to none in the WAFL. He kicked some very telling goals, none better than that one there this afternoon. Dylan Robertson gave them a lot of drive, running and carrying the footy, but they were giving their opportunities to their tall forwards. If they weren't marking it, they were bringing the ball to the ground, and the small forwards like Nat Seal and Michael Swan were making the most of their opportunities. At half-time, the score had blown out to 11 goals 12 to 6-4, the margin 38 points in favour of the Royals, and it was almost a match-winning lead then. And Josh Smith was proving to be a headache all day for Subiaco, such a big, strong man, and he was marking everything that was coming his way, but his presence up forward was the most telling factor. East Perth kept on going forward. Comer in the third quarter had his best term for the afternoon in what was a terrific match for him. He kicked 2 goals in the term, and perhaps asserted himself as one of the best players on the ground. His emergence from the centre of the ground on that occasion, a long kick that Aidan Parker just couldn't get a fingertip to, meant that he had 2 goals in the space of 30 seconds, and East Perth were on their way to a big win. At 3-quarter time, they led by 47 points, but their only real problem was inaccuracy. And despite the fact that they kicked some terrific goals, their final score of 15 goals 20 was not the accuracy in front of goals that Tony McHale would have liked. It was great work by Swan, but in the end, 15 goals 25, 115 was too good for Subiaco. 11-9, 75, the margin in the end at 40 points. Next week in round 23, our match of the day is back here at Medibank Stadium. East Perth playing host to East Fremantle, and we'll be on air from 2 p.m.